Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to our art journaling channel. Today we're going to be making new Matter ATC'S using the Dina Walkers new release from 2024. So I'm starting out on some printed collage fodder. These are all pages that I've created myself, and I'm using the new Dina Walkers stencils over the top just to boost the colour a little bit. So the first stencil I used is varied, and then I'm using the stacked with malachite and mustard. I love the varied stencil because it's just got those gorgeous big and small, totally different sized rough edges all over it, and it just really appeals to me. It's the type of mark making I make anyway. This page underneath is exactly the same. It's a piece I created using a lot of the Dina Walkers scribble sticks and mark making in the background. I took a photo of it and printed it out, but now I'm going back over and boosting the colour again using raspberry and sapphire, using the stacked and varied stencils. So I would highly encourage you, if you've got a background you really love, take a photo of it because you can print it out. I've printed it out onto 200-gram weight cardboard, and then I'm just cutting it up into my ACTs. So it's a really easy way to make backgrounds really quickly. So you can see I've made 12, I think, 12 ATCs that I can add these gorgeous transparencies to really easily. It's just such a quick way to create your ACTs. So these are the new transparencies by Dina, which is a whole heap of gorgeous portraits and faces. And all I'm doing to most of them is to add the whites of the eyes and some cheeks using paint pens. You could use acrylic paint too. I've just got the paint pens there. I find it a little bit easier. Then I'm just adding some liquid glue to the back and letting it dry. So I do tend to add my glue into the black printed areas of the transparencies, but I find that the glue does dry fairly well on its own. For this one I decided I want to put a bit of extra colour in, so I'm adding in some colour in the hair, but again I'm just adding glue everywhere and letting it dry. The great thing about adding the transparencies over the top is you can see what's happening in the background behind as well. So with some of these I am adding some additional mark making to the background. So with this one I added in some of the smaller yellow dots into the varied stencil. Some of them I'm just leaving as is. There's no real planning of where I'm putting the transparencies. I might turn, you can sort of see me auditioning a few of them, but really it doesn't matter. This one I'm colouring in all the hair, so I've got a little bit of pop of green on this because it's very yellow red heavy, so I just wanted a bit of a contrast. Some of them they fit on beautifully, others have a little bit hanging over the edge, and that's okay too. So just pop it in where you feel. I have tried to make the eye on the page as visible as possible, so if it gets lost in the pattern of the background I might turn the ACT upside down, the background upside down, or maybe find another one where it fits in a little bit better onto the page. So do what works for you. I have found when I'm doing my transparencies, popping them on a white bit of paper, so I've just used the back of another ACT background, just helps me actually see what I'm doing. Sometimes if you do it onto the black of the glass mat or onto your coloured ACT, it just gets lost a little bit. In this transparency I decided I wanted to colour in the face, so I've just used a sort of skin tony colour, putting in a little bit of colour on the eyes and so on, just to push it out because it's such a fine detailed piece. I didn't want to get lost too much on a really busy background, so I'm gluing it down. And then this one again, sort of working out where I want to put it on the edge. I do tend to find that I like to ground my images by placing them near the edges. So particularly this one, I'm putting two quite small images on and making sure they're all glued in. The next thing I'm doing is rounding off the corners. Now this is just personal preference. Now most ACTs would have the straight edges. I just quite like the rounded edges. It's just a textural thing for me. So I'm just using a corner chomper and chomping off all the edges. I think it's on the 1/4 inch, not the 1/2 inch, but just depends. Then I'm going in and trimming off any transparencies that are overlaying. For all of these, I wanted to have a message on them, and as I got up to this stage, the stamp sets this month's stamp set that kind of goes along with this series of images is called You Matter. So I thought it would be really lovely to make a series of You Matter cards that I could hand out to people when they're having a interesting day, or send to people and write a message on the back, which is usually I do double-sided ACTs just because that amuses me that I've got art on both sides, but in this state ones I actually just kept the white background. So this is a quote that comes along with the stamp set. The stamp in the middle is a little bit dodgy, just in the fact that it is actually part of a pattern, a full pattern with 3 sort of pattern made circles, and then with the You Matter in the middle. So I thought I just wanted the block You Matter so it would fit onto the ACT. The quote says, you matter in ways you cannot imagine, you matter in ways you cannot know, in ways beyond dreams. So I took the first You Matter off the script and cut it into a little banner, and then just stapled it onto the pages in different areas just around. And then when I ran out of those, I went to the second one. Oh, this one is a really fine drawing, and it got a little bit lost on the page, so I just got my paint pen and drew over the top of it. For this one, the chunkier You Matter, I've just torn it out and popped it onto the page. I didn't mind that, but the leftover of the pattern didn't quite work for what I wanted it to, so I decided that I would leave that and go on to the other parts of the quote. So I've taken this part, You Matter in ways that you cannot know, and just cut out the individual words and put it down the side of that page, which I really, really liked. In this one, I'm just cutting out the You Matter and making a shorter one without the banner on it, and then doing the same for the other. So this is a close-up of the finished pieces. When they're dry, so you can't see the glue anymore, you can just see the images and the patterns underneath. So you can see the new stencils, you can see the beautiful transparencies, and you can see the stamps for the quotes that I've put onto the page. This has made a really lovely little set that I can send out to friends and family who need to know that they matter to me. This is a full set that I created using all these new Dina Walkers release. So look at the links below and you'll find a link to the latest release from Ranger, and we should show you where you can get them, and most of your stockists should have them in, if not now, very, very soon. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.